Yeah, so what I prepared is like I'm going to introduce myself. It's very short. Most of everybody knows me already. And how we use Bhyve inside FreeNAS. I will give some example, some numbers after like we introduce the feature inside FreeNAS, like how many users and bugs and so on and so forth. So as I'm quite afraid to make the live demo, so I took some screenshots from the UI. And then there are some other side projects that we try to provide some tools for Bhyve inside FreeNAS. And then some work in progress that I hope next year this Bhyve.com I can show as well. So my name is Marcelo Araujo. So I started to use FreeBSD when it was like a 3.0 release. Got my port bit in 2007, source bit in 2015. I work for IX System since December 2016. IX System is the biggest sponsor of FreeNAS. It has a product also based on FreeNAS as TrueNAS, and I also have a TrueOS. So that's my GitHub account. And I'm interested in Bhyve since 2014. So originally I'm from Brazil and I live in Taiwan. That you can see by my British accent, right? So here's the architecture of FreeNAS. So the way how the users interact with FreeNAS is via a web app. So everything is over web. Then what we have, basically, like we have a web UI. We provide a WebSocket and REST API. Then we have a middleware wrote in Python. And on top of this middleware, there's a lot of plugins. And these plugins, they are in charge for specific tasks. Like in the example of this presentation, like I'm going to talk a bit about the VM plugin. And the VM plugin is in charge to talk with the userland. So Bhyve, CTL, ZFS, Web Bhyve, and so on and so forth. So that part of the VM plugin is quite complex. And then we start to think about to make some toolings. So, and what we want to achieve with this virtualization feature inside FreeNAS, basically it's like make a hybrid storage, because you have the storage there, and most of the time, like a CPU are in idle, you have a plenty of memory available. Of course, depends how you set up your ARC cache. And also, we want to offer more alternatives for FreeNAS users besides only jail and plugins. Also, we want to give a very good user experience, especially related with a virtualization feature inside FreeNAS. We want to do something like a very user-friendly, used to use, and remove all the complexities around the Bhyve. Because Bhyve itself is a quite big software, but still we don't have any management tool to launch your VMs. We have a lot of things out there, most wrote in shell scripts. And then, as we had in one presentation before, like a deal with shell scripts sometimes is quite hard. And I think that was 2 weeks ago, we have a thread on FreeBSD virtualization mail list. Like somebody was asking about like what kind of tool you are using to manage your virtual machines. Then you have VMBhyve, you have IOHive, you have Sheaves, you have a CBSD. And most of everybody says like, okay, I use VMBhyve with my own hacks. I use these with my own hacks. And also, the goal with it becomes a project inside FreeNAS to provide the tools around the Bhyve, improve the user experience. Not only the web interface, but also the CLI interface. So here we have some numbers, like FreeNAS has over 10 million downloads and over 200,000 active users. So, like an example, when we introduced the virtualization feature on FreeNAS was on FreeNAS 11.0, was like back in February of 2017. So only on FreeNAS forum we have like over 61,000 active users, and only related with a Bhyve or virtualization, we have over 2,000 posts, like making questions, or like they find problems, or they want something improved, new features, and so forth. So, and for that point to the present, in your bug track, we had like over 244 bugs related with the feature itself, some bugs related with Bhyve, and then I'm part of the Bhyve group, so we always try to fix things on FreeBSD and also fix things on FreeNAS. So as an example, like only bugs related with the VNC, we had like 21 bugs. Not all specific with the RFP implementation of Bhyve, but also related with the interface that we provide. So, as we want to make like a user has a better experience, like we try to improve a lot the UI side. Before we used Django, and Django is like it's quite good to make a CRUD interface. But when we start to apply some, try to make a better user experience, it's quite hard. And then we have a new interface using Angular. There is a team specifically work for this UI inside IX. We have like a VM wizard. In 6 steps, you can like next, 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 and you can create your guest. It's quite intuitive UI, very friendly, easy to use. Nowadays, like I only launch Bhyve using command line just for debugs and everything else I use inside FreeNAS. You can access all the VMs using VNC via web, so you don't need to install a third-party client. I also have like some flip cards you cannot see, but because I took screenshots, but it's like I'll tell you, like go make the download, use the new UI. You can see like it's quite interactive, the VM feature, and we are working quite hard to make it to add more features and improve it every day. So here's an example, like when you access the new interface. Here's a VM list. This is what I say about the flip cards. Like when you edit, the card flips, has some interaction, has some animation. It's make more friendly to the user. It's the same like when we start the VM. Unfortunately here, because these I took some screenshots and I didn't go to the latest code, but actually you have some background here where if you define you are using a guest VM like a Windows, so it will appear something related with Windows that will be easy for the users to identify their VM without need to read the name or read which kind of operation system. So here's the wizard that we are still improving, but like we have basically like 6 steps to set up a guest VM. And then also we're going to provide a lot of graphs. So here we have some graphs related with the host, but also we have some projects that allows you to get information from the host, information from the guest on the host. So I can get information from the guest, like how much memory the guest is using, how much CPU, how much disk, the network configuration. And also we're going to add this kind of graphs here in this area. So it's a screenshot of the VNC web. So it's like there is a button there. You just like you want to access. You just click to open a new tab, and like you are connected inside your guest. And then here comes like some other projects that's these tools that we are working around. It's like an example is the Bhyve remote. It's a library. Actually, like when I made that was like mostly to solve those bugs related with VNC. And what it does, like it's used like a DL open. It doesn't link static. It does a dynamic link, and it uses a DL open and get the features of these third-party libraries. Just provide interface. At least now for Bhyve, but it can be extended to any other hypervisor. So in this case here, now we only support libVNC server, and libVNC server is well known. Like they have libVNC server and libVNC client. So most of these third-party VNC clients, they use libVNC client. So the compatibility is quite big, and they are longer term in the market. When I made this libHyve remote, why I made this and I didn't use a libVNC server directly? First of all, because of license. libVNC server and client, they are GPL. And I contacted some developers when I was thinking how to use the libVNC server with Bhyve. And not only myself, but a lot of people was asking the developers already to dual license libVNC server. But the biggest problem that some of these developers, they reply to me is like, there are so many copyright holders and companies and individuals, and lots of these, they are not around anymore. So they cannot, even the developers, they lost the contact with these people. So this is quite hard to do a license without everybody's agreement. So in this case, what I did, like I tried to make something in the middle, and with a dual license, BSD and GPL, where you can access these libraries in GPL, and then like a code that you have under BSD license, you can access libHyve remote, which go directly to the libVNC server. I'm not sure if that was the best approach, because I'm not a lawyer, but like with people that I asked, most of everybody shared the same idea. Or create something in the between, in the middle, and then maybe like you can overpass this license issue. So, and then like after this libHyve remote, like after the support of a libVNC server, so it opened a lot of possibilities. One is like implement a FreeRDP. So FreeRDP library is very much similar with libVNC server. I also implement Spice. And I'm trying to extend the libHyve remote. So an example, some issues that was solved using libVNC server. So first of all, better compatibility with different VNC clients. So on Bhyve implementation, I got a lot of tickets on FreeNAS, people reporting like, okay, I have this option in real VNC, and it doesn't work with Bhyve. And we don't have actually a matrix of compatibility with clients and Bhyve. So libVNC server, it solves that. So I never had any other, after we used that this libHyve remote on FreeNAS, I never had any other ticket related with a VNC client. So another thing that came for free was IPv6 support. So like you can connect your VNC guest using IPv6. Another issue that hit me badly was like the keyboard map. I got a lot of problems. It's like, okay, I have a Spanish keyboard map, a German keyboard map, and like it was very difficult how to solve this issue. So with libVNC server, it's all gone. So you go there, you set up whatever you have inside your guest, and it just works. Also, a much better mice cursor handle. It's like you can see it's much more smooth. Like you don't have those clicks also to update the screen. Sometimes I can open an application with the Bhyve RFB implementation, open an application, and like it tries to update some squares in your screen, but actually like you need to go around with the mouse pointer to make all the screen refresh it, and then you have your application open there. So also it has a much better compression because the libVNC server, they implement different compressions. So you get a much better experience. Password authentication. Although I committed on Bhyve the RFB VNC authentication that originally was Google Summer of Code project, and it was around a bit. It needs a little bit of extra work. And then it's, I don't remember exactly when it got in, I think it was last year. And we have as well, like inside the Bhyve by default. So, and how to use it with Bhyve. There is a port, Bhyve remote, and also there is a patch for Bhyve there. So for those that want to experiment using VNC server with Bhyve, just like a make config, select the Bhyve in the dialog menu. So it will install Bhyve remote, VNC server, will rebuild your Bhyve, will reinstall it. And the way how I made this patch for Bhyve, like if anything goes wrong with Bhyve remote or even VNC server, it will fall back to Bhyve implementation. So you can go there and use without any fear that something will block in your environment. So, and after you rebuild and you reinstall Bhyve, so then you need to add a new variable that will be VNC server. So, and you can keep the free buffer as well. So even like you can compare, launch your guest using VNC server, and then remove the VNC server and test with the current Bhyve implementation, just to compare what was improved and was not. So another project also that was like, it's quite new, that I call the Bhyve VM Go agent. Actually is an agent routing Go. So we have a pre-built binaries for different architectures, different operation systems. So basically, like you download inside your guest, and it uses virtual console, and also you have another option that's WebSocket in case your guest operation system doesn't use virtual console. Virtual console basically like what it does, like it opens a bidirectional channel between host and guest, and the host can talk with the guest and vice versa. So, and then what this agent does, like it keeps listing that a virtual console device inside the guest, waiting for some specific commands to arrive, and then it parses that, and then it reply with the proper information. So we have a pre-built binaries for i386, MD64, for FreeBSD, Linux, NetBSD, Windows as well. Work out of the box, because the Go is quite good with all this cross-compile and multiple platforms. Like it's an amazing language. So, and information is available from guest. Right now we have a memory usage, amount of memory, and all the information related to memory, CPU, all the network configurations, like how many network devices, like IP address, and so on. It's an uptime, and also there is something else that I call ping, that you can use to see the state of the guest VM. So if it's alive, it's dead, and it's very easily to extend to do anything else. So it's like I bring some concepts from that middleware. So then, like with VM Go agents, like you have the main software, you have plugins, so you can add the plugins to do specific tasks that you need. So, and how you use that? Inside the guest VM, so you can build the port, there is a port, but I suggest go to the GitHub web page and download the binary, then you don't need to build anything. So you put inside the guest VM, and at the host side, you need to launch, you need to add another virtual device, that's virtual console, and you specify a domain name and a path for a socket. So at the host side, you talk with the guest via a socket file. So inside the guest, it talks with the host via a virtual console device. So inside the guest, you download that binary. So you load the virtual console module. So it has virtual console for Windows as well. I think it's provided by Red Hat, if I'm not wrong. But unfortunately, the Bhyve VM Go agent, it doesn't know how to parse a virtual console device inside Windows, because I have no idea how Windows device works. So if anybody wants to help with that, so I'll be very happy. And you add option for this Bhyve VM Go agent. In this case, like a virtual I/O. It has a menu, a help menu for you to check. Like if your operation system doesn't support virtual I/O, you can launch these using WebSocket. But of course, you have some additional parameters to allow the host connect via WebSocket inside the guest. And how you obtain information from those guests. So basically, like you need to connect in that socket. You can use whatever you want, and you can send some specific comments. So what I did with Bhyve VM Go agent was like provide some additional tools as an example how you can write your software to communicate with the guest. So in this case, from inside the host, I connect in a FreeNAS guest, and then I want the Ethernet configuration and also the uptime of this virtual machine. So it will return a JSON. The first result, like I have only two interface, that's EM0 and a loopback, and the last result was the uptime of my machine. It's quite simple, and you can get a lot of other information, like disk usage, it's like CPU, memory. So I think I spoke quite fast. I don't have that much to show, but like other things that we are working on is like provide new toolings for Bhyve. So one thing that I'm working on, like it's really hurts, I think not only for myself, but for a lot of people, is like we need to have something to manage VMs. It's like a getaway of those shell scripts. Not again for the shell scripts, like people are trying to solve something. Like there are so many solutions, like Dexter create ones, like I think Alan had a different one. I guess the most popular nowadays are VM Bhyve, but still like we use VM Bhyve inside the quality assurance department on IX. But we have our own hacks also to make it workable. Like it doesn't run in a machine because it parses the maps in a wrong way to get the CPU flags to say if my machine is capable of virtualization or not. So I need to go there and do my own hack as well. And then we got quite tired with that, and also the complexity inside that middleware plugin for you to launch different kind of guests. Like when you go with Linux, you need the grub Bhyve. So you go with Windows, you need different parameters on your Bhyve. You go with FreeBSD, it's more easy to do everything. So we want to make a tool that makes everything very easy. And the stage right now is like I create a specification that basically was like I got all these tools out there, and then I list all the features that they have, and like what is good, what's not, like what can be improved, compare everything, and we have a specification. And we add some other features that we want to implement as well. So the next stage is making the software architecture, because we want to try to play with some stuff like move VMs between machines. Although I'm not sure how is the stage of the resume that Mihai students are working on, but like at least we can move offline VMs. So you have a two storage, and like maybe in a proper time you can like shut down the VM, and can you move all that VM. You can move the disk, you can move the settings, you can move everything. Another thing like that we envision to have with this tool is like we need the templates. We need somewhere where you can write things in a text file, or can be a JSON file, can be like we had some attempts before to implement that. Yes?
What about libvirt? I don't know. I'm not aware of the status integrating Bhyve with libvirt, but looking at all cloud solutions nowadays, we will see that are using libvirt as a layer between launching the guest with that big command and the commands coming from the cloud controller. I don't know, what is the status of LibVit, and maybe it's worth making it work with LibVit in order for Bhyve to be supported like major cloud software like OpenStack.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like this is one thing that we are looking into as well, because there is a guy that's probably I'm going to pronounce his family name wrong. It's Roman Bogorodsky, and he was mainly work on LibVirt with support for Bhyve. So there are a lot of things right there. Actually, you can use LibVirt and launch gas VMs using Bhyve. And the progress of this his pads and implementation is quite good, and is something that we are really considering.
But why did you consider this in the first place and try to make your own version of managing that Bhyve gas?
Yeah, because I still need something to, how to say, it's like a more lightweight to manage the gas. So like an example inside of FreeNAS, I want people be able to see like what they have in the graphic user interface, also be able to manage the things on the CLI. An example is very much similar as the idea of IO Cage, but I'm looking into like a LibVirt because I want to see also have support for OpenStack and you have a lot of tools out there that they support LibVirt. So this one thing like definitely when I get in that time for the templates and these kind of things, like definitely like maybe I'm gonna use LibVirt for that. But I will still have a tool to manage the gas VMs. And with that, like one thing that we are looking for to provide is like make it easier for users, at least like inside FreeNAS, to instead to download an image and like okay, I'll give an example. Like I want to run Redmine, so you need to get your operation system flavor, install, and then install the package. So we want to do something very much similar as the plugins inside FreeNAS. So you're gonna have a market soft place where you have like an example like with Runchair OS. They have the Runchair UI for the Docker, and you have a lot of like pre-built images there. I want to have in mind. You click, it's download a very tiny guest with the latest Redmine inside, and then like it launches and you set up your Redmine as an example. So this one thing. Another thing, like improve more the Bhyve VM Go agent, because I think like it has a lot of potential with this virtual console and even with the WebSocket. And it's a new software. It's like I was quite new on Go, and I just learned Go like 1 week, and then like after 2 weeks it comes this agent. And actually, like we used to have something similar on FreeNAS, but it was brought on C++. So back with that tool, like you need to check out the source code inside the gas. You need to install compilers. You need to install some other dependencies, and then you need to build. And it didn't have a support for Windows, as an example. So with a Go, like you have the binary, just download, and you don't need to do anything else. Also, with Bhyve Remote, I want to add at least try to add this year free RDP support, and put that on FreeNAS as well, and try to push inside the FreeBSD. And here are some reference, like you can see all these repos inside the github.com FreeNAS. There is for the Bhyve Remote, there is a review going on also. There are some, I spoke with Peter last BSD Taiwan, and my idea at the beginning, because of this license issue, although like it looks very okay, Bhyve Remote solves this license issue, but like I tried to split the current RFB implementation with the Bhyve Remote implementation. Although both codes, they share similarities, and they even share some same functions. And my last, I did that because like if we had any issue with related with software license, I could go easily there and make what I did, like remove the code from the base system and make a patch inside the port. And then like the user go and do whatever he wants. We are not distributing this, we are not infringing any software license. So after I spoke with Peter, because all of this similarity and it looks very safe, the way how Bhyve remote deal with this software license issue. So he suggested to merge the RFB implementation and the Bhyve remote implementation. But like it took me quite a lot of time to make Bhyve remote and also to make the patch for Bhyve. And I still want to implement other things like a FreeRDP, Spice, and I easily get distracted with other tools that I want to do. And let's see, the patch is there. You can, if anybody wants to do that, also want to help, will be good. Also the Go agent, feel free to go there, open issues, and like it's quite new. If you know Go or if you have ideas, I will be very happy to implement those. And I want to thank you IX system to give me the opportunity to do all these things. I'm very happy doing that. Thank you for Dexter to host the BhyveCon again. I hope like next year I can have another presentation talking about those tools. Alan for all the food. I don't know who brought the beer, like thank you very much as well. Very appreciated. And that's it. If anybody has any question, any idea, any suggestion, something missing.
Have you started on your Bhyve wrapper, like for creating and destroying?
Yeah, that's I started the specification, like what features I envision to have, and the next step is the architecture. But then I think like after I saw you guys' presentation, so I will check what you have, because then like instead to be myself and expect that other people will jump and start to do something, maybe we can cooperate and do something much faster and better. Yeah. And yeah, I will definitely take a look. I think like my next steps when I go home, first thing I will check what you guys have, yeah. And maybe you can exchange some emails and talk a bit. But I think it will be great if you have if I can have this kind of start with like you have something there already, and right. And you have more people, right? So working the project. So I think it will be great.
That sounds great. At least for my part, which is just wrapping Bhyve. Haven't done much like design work yet, so like we could talk about that. Mm-hmm. So I've just been attempting to replace my usage of chives, but mm-hmm. Maybe we can do something smarter.
Yeah, I think I can open. I still have time. Yeah. Okay, I think I can. Let me see if I can open.
It's not pushed, my bets.
Let me see if just to show. Let's see if I can have access to the specification and what I compare. As docs, Google. Just to give an idea what I had.
And we can have a hackathon later if you like.
Yes, let me. Yeah, I think it's okay, right? So what I did was like I got the most famous tools out there, like a CBSD, but like a CBSD at the beginning they want to do something only to manage jails, and then the guy introduced Bhyve as well, and I didn't compare CBSD anymore because like the solution is quite nice, but it's like you have a lot of shell script, then you have an interface in PHP, and then like I start to mix things, and it starts to get very complicated. And then like I just like okay, I wouldn't even compare the things. Although his solution, you see the screenshots and everything, I didn't even run that, but like it looks very nice. And then what I compared was Chives, Hive, and VNB-Hive. So I have some pull requests on VNB-Hive, but looks like the guy is not so activity on his repo. Hive, the guy is still around, but not as active as before. Chives, like yeah, it looks like it's gone. And then what I did is like I made a kind of like a Moscow priorization. That's some stuff like a must have, or like a shall have, a could, and like a would have. And then I tried all these tools. I installed my machines. I spent some time playing around, reading the main page and documentation, and then I start to compare. So, like an example, like everything that's here's the features that they have, and at the Moscow priorization is like what I envision to have in this tool. It doesn't mean it will do it the same way. I want to do. I want something that's like very easy to do, like something like it's still powerful. You can go more deeply in the things, but like if you want just launch create your gas VM and launch like remove any barriers, remove any complication for the user to make that. So this is the stage that's I complete. I think it was like last December, and then I started to write some architecture, like how to do things. It's like what I expect, like okay, I'm gonna have a server running, and then you communicate with the server, how you're gonna store the data related with the gas, you're gonna use the ZFS tags or not, we're gonna support only ZFS, how about UFS, people that have the UFS and they want to run the tool. So I'm in this stage right now. Yeah, I think like I can talk quite a lot about this.
Yeah, like our use case seems pretty different, but I think a lot of the infrastructure, like just basically like a Go library to create all the sort of like infrastructure in terms of like directory structure and all this, we can share all that. Mm-hmm. And we can extract all that out, and that'll make our lives pretty easy.
Yeah, definitely. It depends how because I didn't know your project, depends how you envision the things. It's like we can do some stuff, some kind of like plugins, like things like it's only related or only work for your project, and like and we can strip that when you build. You can remove from that because I got quite excited with Go. Like you have those build tags inside the files, and you can specify like when I build for Linux, I want to remove this, I want to remove that, I want to remove that. And then the any binaries get very small. So you really strip like you do with C. And it's quite powerful, these build tags. And definitely can create a lot of things. Even if there is it's different operation system, different user case, but it will be great.
Sounds good.
I have a question from
Okay.
Joe Maloney, and I hope you can decipher this.
Okay.
What is the other wrapper tool the guy mentioned at the thank you section you were going to look into?
Oh yeah, he can answer.
Oh,
that's yours.
Okay. I'm the guy. So, as part of the Join's FreeBSD project, there's a tool called VPC. It's what Sean talked about with regards to all the VM networking tools we were making. I haven't pushed the bits yet, but there's a new command there called VPC VM, and that's the tool I'm writing. But it's not usable yet. I don't even use it yet. So that's what I'm trying to talk to Marcelo about.
Yeah. There is, I guess, there is another question. The virtual UI discussion. guy Joe Maloney, he said he wants a virtual UI SCSI back.
Any other questions? Anyone?
I'm trying to have the BBC VM create and run and all that done by the end of the month. So check back soon.
So there is a, yeah.
So what was the purpose of patch to Bhyve itself? Because you mentioned that there is some patch to Bhyve that needed to be applied.
Yes, it's because like a libhyve remote is a library itself, right? So inside the libhyve remote, I use a DL open to get the features from libVNC server, and you need to patch Bhyve because you need to use all these features like to update the screen, like a mice, a keyboard. So I need to make a patch for that.
So do you think about making it more pluggable, just into Bhyve, like, you know?
Yeah, at the end I tried to make more pluggable. At the end,
I mean, not portable, but just integrate the patch itself into the Bhyve and make it like, you know, this is the interface. You can hook it into the Bhyve.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good to be done. But like at the end or at the beginning, what I want to do is like just solve that VNC issues, and at the end, what I had was like something that I could extend much bigger. And also inside of the Bhyve, it's like I'm also using DL open because I was really afraid of the GPL.
Yeah, but you could still just provide like hook that. Yeah, we will
Yeah.
always do DL open, but just provide those function, the
Yes.
library or something like that, right? And then you can like make Bhyve more pluggable for the future.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, if you want to work with FreeRDP and you have any trouble, you can contact me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, it's something that I want. And also the FreeRDP, you have the USB device, right?
Yeah, but they don't quite work with FreeBSD.
Oh, okay. Maybe I go to Spice. No, it's good. Thank you. So I think there's another thing like I forgot to mention here. I will try, but I'm not sure if until the end of the year we'll have enough time to do everything. But Jakub Clan, Giselle, he made a patch before for virtual SCSI. So you can have a SCSI device, and then you can use that SCSI device mapped on Bhyve. And I tried to revive that patch. It's like the virtual SCSI part that touches Bhyve. It's done. It's in sync with head. It builds. It works. But also there is some change at the CTLD interface. So it will change the device name. And I think I missed the window before 12 release because I do believe it will break the Poland. And the device name will be a little bit different. But this is one thing that I want to bring back to FreeNAS, and I hope also I can take this to FreeBSD.
Thank you.